Why did the US go to war in Iraq? Oil's a part of it, but it's not the main reason. We went to war in Iraq because several powerful American men wanted to. Some of them thought it was vital, we had to. Others just wanted to project American power. But either way, here we are 18 years later. Nearly 10,000 Americans dead, over 200,000 Iraqis dead, over $1 trillion tax dollars spent. So this is how the US stole Iraq. So it's the night of 9/11. The country is reeling. Who did this terrible thing and why? How should the US respond? And it became clear very soon amongst intelligence and counterterrorism people that Al-Qaeda was behind it. This terrorist group that was mainly based in Afghanistan. Later that night, the night of 9/11, over at the Pentagon, which earlier that day had been hit by an airplane, a memo comes in from the Deputy Secretary of State. The memo is urgent. It's for the Defense Intelligence Agency, the people who spend their time doing all the intelligence for war and other defense purposes. And this memo tells the intelligence agents not to look into Al-Qaeda, the people they know did it, but instead to look into ways Iraq has been involved in terrorism for the previous decade. The intelligence agents who got this memo sort of scratched their head and were like, wait, what? What's going on here? These people were very familiar with the intel, and they knew that this attack had come from Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is like more than 1,000 kilometers away from Iraq. It is a completely different place. They speak a different language. It has nothing to do with Iraq. Afghanistan and Iraq are totally different. We had just been attacked by Al-Qaeda, and yet the Deputy Secretary of Defense is asking for information about Iraq and its ties to terrorism. The person who sent this memo was the Deputy Secretary of State, Paul Wolfowitz. And he was just getting started. A few days after 9/11, the president gathers all of his top advisors out at his forest retreat right outside of Washington, D.C. They were there to discuss how to respond to these attacks. The focus of this discussion was, of course, Afghanistan. How do we retaliate against Al-Qaeda, this terrorist group that has been given sort of a safe haven by the government of Afghanistan? So they're sitting in some conference room in some lodge in this forest retreat, debating how they're going to retaliate against Al-Qaeda. And who pipes up again but this guy, Paul Wolfowitz, this time with the support of his boss, Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld. So Wolfowitz pipes up and he's like, you know, 9/11 was a pretty sophisticated attack. There's no way that this ragtag terror group of Al-Qaeda could have pulled it off all alone. They probably had help from Saddam in Iraq. And then Wolfowitz says that when it comes to global terrorism, Saddam is actually the head of the snake. He actually said that, basically saying that Saddam is behind all of this. And everyone in the room is sort of like, what the hell is this guy talking about?